Tasman here from Tasman's Crochet Creations, and in today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to crochet this Evil Eye Keychain. Okay, so for the materials we'll be using a 2mm crochet hook to crochet this Evil Eye. My camera does not want to focus. Okay, so we're going to be using a 2mm crochet hook. With that you'll be needing also a darning needle or a tapestry needle. You'll be needing a pair of scissors. You'll need some jewelry pliers, preferably 2 sets of jewelry pliers. If not, you can just use some tassel pliers. Tassel long nose pliers. It would be better to have long nose pliers. Yeah, I prefer long nose pliers because it's just easier to grip, you know, the jump ring and everything like that. And these ones are just much more easier to work with since they're smaller. So you'll be needing two long nose pliers. With that you'll also be needing a keychain. This is a split ring keychain or key ring. And with that I also have some jump rings here that we'll put onto the keychain. Okay, and now as for the yarn, we'll be using Charity double knit pull skein yarn. So this is 100% acrylic. Yeah, so it is 100% acrylic. It's 100 gram ball, and this color is royal blue. So you'll need royal blue. You'll need some black, and then you'll need some Saxe Blue. Okay, you need some Saxe Blue, and then you'll also need some white. So this is the same yarn, but it's just in the color white. Okay. So with that in mind, let's get started with today's tutorial. And just before we carry on, I just wanted, I forgot to mention that we'll need a book or something to wrap our yarn around to make the tassel. So you'll need like a book or a piece of cardboard to your desired width. So this is about this measurement here, so I used this book. I believe this book is an A5, A6. I think it's an A6. I'm not sure. So yeah, you'll just be needing a little notebook or something to wrap the yarn around to make your tassel. Okay, so let's begin. So you'll also be needing some pillow stuffing, so we can stuff our Evil Eye keychain. Okay, so let's continue with the tutorial. Okay, so to begin, we will take our black. Apologies for using black, but I kind of have to for the tutorial, so please bear with me. Okay, so again, we'll be using our 2mm crochet hook. So to begin, we are going to make a magic circle. So to do that, we are going to wrap our yarn around our finger once, twice, and then we're going to cross over for the third time, like that, to form an X. And then you'll go under those first 2 loops, pick up your second loop, yarn over and pull through. And then you'll just do a chain 1 to secure your magic ring, and then you can pull it off your finger. Okay. So let me just get my camera to focus. There we go. Okay, so in this magic ring we'll be placing 6 single crochets in this magic ring. So a single crochet is insert, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, so that's 1. Again, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, that's 2 single crochets. Again, it's insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, that's 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's a little bit hard to tell, but yeah, you just gotta bear with me. So in order to count your stitches, you'll have like little V's. Unfortunately, you can't really see it with this yarn. But yeah, so I have done 1, 2, 3, 4 so far, so I need 2 more. 1 and 2. Okay, so now I have my 6 single crochets done. And now to close this magic ring, we're going to pull on this tail end, just gently. There, okay. Don't want to pull too hard. And then the one loop that is pulled in the most, so not this one, we're going to pull it. I'm going to pull it out, and then you'll see the other loop closing like that. And then to get rid of this loop, you just pull on the tail end like that, then it disappears. Yeah, so now what we'd want to do is you'd want to just slip stitch to the beginning single crochet, so you can count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to make sure you insert into the right stitch. Okay, there you go. And then just yarn over and do a slip stitch. So slip stitch is just insert, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the loop on your hook. So yeah, and then yeah, you just pull through the loop on your hook. Okay, so you're going to chain 1 for the next round. The chain 1 does not count as a stitch, it's just for leverage. Okay, and then into the first stitch we're going to place 1 single crochet. So this is going to be an increase round. Actually no, I apologize. We will place 2 single crochets into each stitch around. Okay, so an increase is just 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Okay, so our stitch count will go up from 6 up to 12 by the end of this round. Okay, so again it's just 2 single crochets into each stitch around. Okay, so again you'll have 12 stitches by the end of this round. Okay, so I'm just going to carry on crocheting this with you till get to the end. Okay, so now I've made it back to the end. It may look like we have another stitch there, but that is just our slip stitch, which is like a fake stitch. Yeah, but just to make sure, you want to count back and make sure you have 12 stitches. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, that's right. So I have 12 stitches. So again, I'm going to slip stitch to the first stitch. So again, a slip stitch is just insert, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the loop on your hook to do your slip stitch. Okay, moving on to the next round. So we will now have, for this next round, we'll now have 18 stitches. So what we'll do is we'll chain 1 just for leverage, and then into the first stitch we'll place 1 single crochet. So it's 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then the second stitch we'll place an increase. So again, an increase is just 2 stitches in the same stitch. Okay, so that's an increase. Again, in the next stitch we'll have 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch we'll have 2 single crochets. Okay, so you'll just repeat that around, placing 1 single crochet in the next stitch and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. Okay, you'll just repeat that pattern until you get to the end, and your stitch count should have gone from 12 up to 18. Okay, again I'm just going to continue crocheting this on camera because I'm nearly finished. Okay, I don't know if I messed up here now. Because it did not end on the right same stitch. Let me just check my counting. So I've worked my way around, and I've worked my way to the end, and now I have 18 stitches now. Okay, so you should end on, if you started with 1 single crochet, you should end on an increase. But yeah, if you still have the same stitch count, that's great. Okay, so now we're going to join with the slip stitch. Okay, and now we are done with the black. So this was the pupil of the eye. So now we're done with the black, and now we can take our yarn and we can snip our, we can take our scissors and then snip our yarn. Okay, so now it looks something like that. Okay, so now what we can do is we can grab our lighter blue. So this is the Saxe Blue. So you can just grab this blue. Okay, so now we'll be doing the color of the eye. Okay, so now we're gonna join into the same stitch that we slip stitched into. Okay, we're going to carry our yarn just a little bit. Okay, so you're going to place your black tail end over your hook and your blue tail end over your hook, and you're just going to join your yarn in a chain 1. Okay, so now for this next round we're going to carry on increasing. So we'll place 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So like before it was 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then an increase in the next stitch. For this round it's going to be 1 single crochet in the first stitch and in the second stitch and in the second stitch, and then we will increase in the next stitch. Okay, so as you can see I'm just carrying my yarn just a little bit there. Okay, so in the third stitch I'm going to increase. Okay, and then again it's 1 single crochet in the next 2. Okay, I can drop those tail ends now, you don't need to work with them anymore. Yeah, so that's 1, 2, and then an increase, and then 1, 2, and then an increase, and your stitch count would have gone up from 18 to 24. 18 to 24. Yeah, and then again it's 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then an increase. Okay, so you just repeat that all the way around until you get back to the beginning, and then I'll meet back up with you when we are ready to move on to the next round. Okay, so now I'm back at the beginning again. So now you just want to join with the slip stitch to the beginning stitch. Okay, so now that's what it looks like. So now moving on to the next round, we will chain 1, and then again this will be an increase round, so it's 1 single crochet in the next 3. So each round we are increasing by another 1 stitch. So instead of doing it one in each stitch, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an increase. If that makes any sense. It'll be 1 and an increase, and a 2 and an increase, 3 and an increase, 4 and an increase as the rows progress. Okay, so again it is 1 single crochet in the first 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then an increase in the next. And your stitch count would have gone up from 24 to 30. Okay, so you can just repeat this pattern all the way around until I meet back up with you and we're ready to move on to the next round. Again it is 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then an increase, and then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. Okay, so you can just continue this and I'll meet back up with you when you're ready to move on to the next round. Okay, so now moving on to the next round, we are again going to join with a slip stitch, and again by the end of that round you should have 30 stitches. Okay, we're going to do one more round in this blue and then we'll join the white. Okay, so again for this round we're going to place 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches this time, so it's not 3, it's 4. And also another way to make sure you're increasing correctly is all of your increases should line up. So for instance there are my increases there, so it's 2 stitches on top of 2 stitches there, so all of your increases should line up. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then an increase, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an increase. Okay, so you'll just repeat that all the way around until you get back to the beginning, and your stitch count should have gone from 30 up to 36. Okay, and this is the last round in the blue. So when I come back to end of this round, I will show you how I join. Well, actually I've already showed you how to join the yarn, but I'll still come back and I'll show you how to join the white. Okay, so now I've joined back to the beginning with the slip stitch, and now I'm just gonna cut my yarn And then I'm just gonna yarn over, yarn over and pull that through to end off the blue. Then I'm gonna drop the blue, and then we are going to pick up the white. Okay, so now that we have our white, we are going to join in the same stitch that we slip stitched into. Okay, so we're just gonna hang our yarn over our hook, and again we're gonna just crochet over our tail end a bit. Okay, so we're gonna join with the chain 1, and then we're gonna place 1 single crochet now in the next 5 stitches. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I'm just going to drop my tail ends because I've worked over them enough, and then in the next stitch we will increase, and we will only be doing 2 rows in the white, so this increase row and the next increase row. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5, and then an increase in the next stitch, and your stitch count should have gone up from 36 up to 42. Okay, so you can just repeat this all the way around, placing 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches, and then an increase into the next. Okay, our little R is beginning to take shape. Okay, so you can go off and carry on with that, and I'll meet back up with you when we are ready to start the next round. Okay, so again you should have 42 stitches by the end of this round. Okay, so now that I'm back at the beginning again, we're just going to join with the slip stitch, and then again for this next round we will now place 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches, and then an increase in the next, and then our stitch count should have gone up from 42 up to 48. By the end of this round we should have 48 stitches in total. Okay, so you can just repeat this all the way around, placing 1 single crochet into the next 6 stitches, and then an increase in the next. And again you'll have a stitch count of 48 by the end of this. Okay, so you can carry on with this, and I'll meet back up with you when we are ready to join the dark blue. Okay, so now by the end of this round again you should have 48 stitches. So now I'm just going to join to the beginning with a slip stitch, and we will now end off our white, so we can take our scissors, snip our whites, and then yarn over and pull through. Okay, so now that's what it should be looking like now. And now we just need to add the dark blue yarn. Okay, again we will only be doing 2 rows in this blue. Okay, so we'll do 1 increase round, and then the last round will just be 1 single crochet each stitch around. Okay, so again we'll place 1 single crochet in the next 7 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then an increase in the next stitch. And again you can drop that yarn, you don't have to keep carrying it. Oh, I forgot to carry the white yarn. Oh well, it's okay. You can just tuck it into the work and leave a little bit of a tail. Okay, so again you're going to just repeat that pattern all the way around until you get back to the beginning, and your stitch count should have gone up from 48 to 54. So I'll just repeat that all around, placing 1 single crochet in the next 7 stitches and then an increase, and then I'll meet back up with you when you're ready to move on to the last round. Okay, so now I'm back at the beginning, and you should have a total of, as I say, let me just get my document again, 54 stitches by the end of this round. Okay, so now for the last round, we're just going to slip stitch to the beginning to join. Oops, let's do that again. Okay, so you're going to slip stitch to join, and then we are going to again chain 1, and then we are going to place 1 single crochet into each stitch around for this round. So there'll be no increasing or decreasing. You'll just be placing 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around, and you'll keep the same stitch count as 54. You will not change anything. You'll just 1 single crochet into each stitch around until you get back to the beginning, and then then we can end off. Okay, so you can just carry on with this until the beginning, and then I'll meet back up with you when we need to make the other one. Okay, so now I've made it back around to the beginning, and again you should have kept the same stitch count as 54, and you will see that it would want to curve like a bowl, and that's naturally fine. That's perfectly natural. That's how crochet works. So yeah, that's what happens when you place 1 single crochet in each stitch around. After doing increases, starts to creates a little bowl kind of thing. Okay, so we are now going to join with a slip stitch, and now we can take our scissors and cut our yarn. Okay, now that is one side of the Evil Eye done. Okay, so now you can just take your yarn. We must leave this blue tail end. You leave it, and then you can just cut every other tail end a little bit shorter so it just doesn't get in our way. Okay, so you can just cut them short. Oops, still one attached here. Okay. Alright, so now you can just go ahead and repeat those same steps to make your second one. But for your second one, make sure to leave a long tail end so we can sew it. Like this one, I have already worked up my second eye. Okay, I also just need to snip these down. Okay, so yeah, you can just go ahead and you can make your second one like this one, and then make sure to leave a long tail, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to seam it up together. Okay, so now once you have finished sewing up both your evil eyes, we are now going to sew it together. So you'd want to grab your darning needle and take your long tail end and thread your needle. Okay, so we can just thread our needle. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to place wrong sides together, and we're going to tuck this other blue tail end in, and we're just going to whip stitch this closed. If you want, you can use any other method to sew up the evil eyes. So yeah, we're just gonna place them together, and then we're just going to go in through the stitch where we slip stitched into on that side and this side, and then we are just going to pull. Yeah, and then you're going to go into the next stitch on this one. Let me see if I can focus. Oops. There we go. Okay, and then in through the next stitch on this side. Okay, so again, the right sides are facing outwards and the wrong sides are together. And we're just going to sew this closed. Okay, so again, going to the next stitch on that one and then the next stitch on this side. And continue to whip stitch this closed. Okay, hope I've got enough yarn here to sew this together. Okay, so you will just repeat this all the way around until you get back around to the beginning again. Okay, and then like right before we seam it all the way closed, we will stuff it. So continue sewing all the way around until you have like maybe that much left. So just like that edge there until you have that much there, and then we'll stuff it. Yeah, so just continue with this, whip stitching it closed, and then I'll meet back up with you when we are ready to stuff the eye. Okay, you want to make sure that you're pulling your stitches quite tight. You don't want them loose, like you see that one's a bit loose there. Okay. So yeah, just carry on with that and I'll meet back up with you when we're ready to stuff. Okay. Okay, so now I have sewed around until I have a little opening left, and sadly my yarn was not enough. So make sure you have quite a lot. The rule of thumb, I guess, is to cut the amount of yarn that is like at least 3 times the area that you're sewing. So yeah, I didn't do that. I just like kind of estimated how much I kind of needed. But yeah, sadly it wasn't enough, so I had to end off my yarn that I was sewing with, and then join another piece of yarn and just knot it there, and then yeah, carried on. Anyway, so what we're going to do is just take some of our pillow stuffing, and then we will just stuff our Evil Eye. So just stuff and stuff and stuff. Okay, so just continue stuffing your Evil Eye until you are happy with it. Oh, made a mistake there. Okay, so just continue, just stuff it. Yeah, so if you're happy with how much it is stuffed, I think I'm going to put just a little bit more in here, and then I'm going to seam it up. Okay, so I'm happy with that now. So now, to make sure you don't catch any of the stuffing while you're sewing, you just want to take your finger and just push it down, and then yeah, then we'll just continue to sew this closed like this, just going in through the one side, out the other side. Okay. Okay, so nearly here at the end. Again, you just want to try and just get the stuffing away from the stitches. Okay, I'm like nearly at the end here, so I'm just going to sew just this last stitch here. And then I'm just going to, before I thread my loop all the way through, I'm just going to thread my needle through that loop, just pull it out. Here we go. Okay, so now the only thing that's left to do is just sew in our tail end. So now I am just going to just thread my yarn in and out of the Evil Eye until you are happy with it. Okay, so I'm just going in one stitch and then out another stitch somewhere else on the eye. Then again you go in through the same stitch that you came out of and out another stitch somewhere else on the eye, and just repeat that for as many times as you like. Obviously the more you sew, the more what's the word? The more intact it is, I guess. The more secure it is. There we go. The more secure it is. Okay, so now that you're happy with it, you can then take your scissors, just push this out, yeah? And just take your scissors and snip off this yarn. Okay, and then I'm just gonna sew in this other yarn here. Okay, so I'm just gonna maybe feed it through some of these stitches here. Just kind of sew it in, and then I'm just gonna do the same. Maybe come out this side and I'll see if I can get this little tail end through my needle. And then I'm just going to push that through. Okay. Here we go. So now that's like the actual eye done. And now the only thing that's left to do is to add the keychain and the tassel. Okay, so let's do that now. Okay, so now we can put our eye aside, and I think we can work on the tassel now. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to grab your book, and we're going to take our dark colored yarn, so our dark blue, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to wrap our yarn around the book for maybe like 15 times. Oops, sorry, on the camera. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. And then I am going to just snip my yarn. Okay, so I'll snip my yarn, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to take our yarn, and I'm just going to snip it here, okay, making sure that it's all intact this side, and then we're just going to slide it off the book like that. Okay, we don't need that little scrap piece. Okay, so now I'm just going to lay that out flat, and then you want to grab 2 pieces, so take one and then another piece. Okay, so we can take the one piece that we've cut, and then we are just going to wrap this in the center, roughly in the center of the tassel, and then we are just going to tie this in a knot, or in a few knots like that. Okay, and then you just want to just brush that out a little bit, and then you'd want to take, oh sorry, I'm just pulling up my sleeves. And then you'd want to take your other thread, the other yarn that you cut, and then we're just going to put that underneath, and then we're just going to tie this around our tassel. Okay, and maybe move it up a bit, and then tighten it and then do 1 or 2 knots to secure it. Okay. And then what I like to do is you can take your crochet hook or your tapestry needle and you can just take these 2 tail ends and thread them through to the bottom like that. And now we have our little tassel. Yeah, so you might just want to brush out your tassels a bit. Maybe pull on some, making sure they're all even. Okay, but that is what our tassel should be looking like now. And then what we can do is we can just trim our tassel. So just take your scissors and just snip, 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 snip. Yeah, so that's what it should be looking like now. Okay, so that's what it should be looking like. So now we are ready to sew this onto our little eye so we can get our eye. You can move the book out the way. So now what you want to do, you can grab your hook or your tapestry needle. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find, so where this line is here, just going to insert my hook through one of the stitches near the bottom. See? One of the stitches near the bottom. And yarn over and pull it through. You can do this of course with your tapestry needle. Oops. So there you go, just pull the yarn through, and then what I like to do is just tie this into a really good knot, making sure that it is tight. Okay, so you just do like a few knots, and then what I like to do is then take each individual tail end and just now feed it in and out of the evil eye. So again, you would just insert your needle and come out of a stitch on the eye, and then do that again. So insert through the stitch it came out of, and then out another stitch somewhere else, and just repeat that all the way around until you're happy with it. Okay, I'm gonna go out there. Okay, and then you can just snip that down. Okay, and then if you squeeze it, your tail end should hide back inside. Okay, and then we'll just do the same for this one. Okay, so again, you'll just insert your needle and poke your needle out through a stitch, come out, and then insert your needle through the same stitch you came out of and out somewhere else on the eye. Okay. Okay, and then we can just cut our tail end when we're happy with that. Yeah, so now that is what our tassel should be looking like now. Okay, so you can just neaten up your tassel. You can just give it a bit of a brush, making sure it all lays nicely. Okay, and now the only thing that's left to do is just to add the keychain. Yeah, so you'll need to grab a keychain. Put mine somewhere here on my table. Okay, so here we will need our keychain, and we will need our we will need a jump ring. Okay, so we have one jump ring. Let me just fix this up here. Okay, so what you want to do is you just want to take your pliers. So you just want to take your pliers and you'd want to insert, so you just want to insert the jump ring roughly in line with the tassel. So you just want to just insert it roughly, roughly through one of the stitches. It can be a bit tricky. Oops. Okay, let me try with my hand. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then we can add our keychain, and then we can take the jewelry pliers and the long nose pliers, and what I like to do is I like to kind of pull both of them apart and then kind of push them together, and then you can just close that ring a bit more. Okay, like that. And then there we go. There is your little Evil Eye keychain. Yeah. So there we go. That is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed making this Evil Eye keychain with me as much as I enjoyed designing it and crocheting it, even though it's a very simple keychain. So yeah, if you'd like, you can steam the tassels so that it kind of relaxes, so like the yarn relaxes a bit and it's not you know. So yeah, but that is it for this tutorial, and yeah, also if you would like, you can also check out my little bee tutorial on how to crochet this little amigurumi bee, as well as my little frog keychain, my little cute froggy and my cute little bee. Well, don't they make just like the cutest little pair? I'll also have a tutorial for an avocado, for an avocado keychain. So these are all of my keychains that I made so far. It's actually not all of them. I have actually made a rainbow keychain as well, but because it's not my pattern, I won't be sharing it. So yeah, that pattern I got off of Pinterest. It was a really cute little rainbow. Or was it YouTube? I can't remember if it was Pinterest or YouTube now. But yeah, so these are all of my keychains. So yeah, the one avocado keychain that I did, it was not like this. It was the same exact steps, but it was a really tiny little avocado, like that big. It was like half the size of this. So yeah, these are all my keychains. So if you'd like, you can go and check those videos out. I'll put the links in the description box below to these 3 other keychains. So yeah, that is it guys for this tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Please like, comment and share. Please subscribe and please hit that notification bell. It would really help so much. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and enjoy the rest of your crocheting. Bye.